Fizzarolli is a highly mysterious character, first appearing not as himself, but as a creepy robotic clone. Even more mysteriously, he's been revealed to have been besties with Blitz, and incredibly, he has a close relationship with the Lust Ring's embodiment of Lust himself, Asmodeus. Somehow though, I've managed to piece together all the clues into a cohesive, feasible theory about Fizz's history. Before I begin, please subscribe to ensure that you don't miss out on any HELLUVA BOSS theories, and to prevent my channel from fading into the algorithm. Most don't, so it's really appreciated when you do. My socials are in the description. Now back to the video.
So, without wasting any more time, our little opening act is a fresh one.
First of all, here's my idea of what Fizz's connection to Blitz was. Let's get one thing straight. I personally don't believe that these two are brothers. Fizz isn't present in Blitz's family photo with his mother and sister, and yes, that definitely appears to be their mum. To me, that's already enough. But you might be thinking, well, in that case, why do they share the same birthmark on their forehead? Seeing as Blitz and Barbie were performers from such a young age, I have a hunch performing was a family business. As such, I think the symbol is much more likely a brand of their circus or whoever they belong to. I also think they would have made it more obvious that they were brothers rather than close friends in the last episode, because they have no real reason to conceal that information anymore. Long story short, I think they're ex-besties, not estranged brothers. So they used to be childhood best friends, and now they can't stand each other. What happened? I don't know about you guys, but to me, it seems like Blitz might have been the one that was wronged. He seems far more angry with Fizz than Fizz seems with him. Everything that Fizz has shamed Blitz for hasn't been to do with himself personally. It's just been straight up rude insults. Here's some other evidence that might back this idea up. While Blitz has shown remorse for his actions towards Veronica, he actually hasn't shown any indication he wronged Fizz, or let alone let on that he feels guilty about anything he's done to him. I mean, sure, he looked sadly at the photos, reminiscing about the good old days, so to speak, but the Fizz in his hallucination simply says,
You tried the solo act, it didn't work out so well.
This isn't him regretting something he did to somebody, this is him regretting where he ended up. And to make it clear, I think this comment is about Blitz splitting from Barbie, and not him splitting with Fizz. I don't think Blitz and Fizz ever performed together beyond childhood, and perhaps their teenage years, seeing as Blitz appears to be in his teens at the oldest in his latest photo with Fizz. The amazing imp twins seem to have been formed after that photo if the older look of the siblings and Blitz's lack of braces are anything to go by. Performing with his sister isn't exactly going solo. So what could Fizz have done that would make Blitz so angry that he'd stop being friends with him? We don't have too much to go on, but we do get a personal attack from Blitz that we actually know has truth behind it. Blitz calls Fizz a sellout.
Cheap-ass robo ripoff of an overrated sellout jester!
Someone's salty!
Now that we know they were so close during childhood to at least their teens, this idea of Fizz setting out could have had a much more personal effect on Blitz than it initially may have appeared. As I said earlier, I think they may have performed together at a circus as kids, and became best friends. Being as close as they were, they probably even dreamed about making it big together. If Blitz is saying Fizz sold out, and he's angry about it, perhaps it's because he left Blitz behind at the circus to pursue his own dreams. So when the hallucination mentions things didn't work out for Blitz when he went solo, perhaps it's because things did work out for Fizz when he went solo. In my Barbie Wire video, I theorized that Blitz wasn't actually that good of a performer. So what if the agency who recruited Fizz forced Fizz to leave Blitz behind and he agreed? Specifically, I think he signed with Mammon. If the Mammon drip Fizz and Blitz are wearing in this photo is anything to go by, they idolized him. And him buying Fizz makes sense. Not just because Fizzarolli's likeness is everywhere in the greed ring, but because Fizz shares shocking likeness to the only depiction of Mammon that we've seen thus far. He probably wanted Fizz to look more like him as a way of branding him. Being greedy, he also would have wanted him to make more money, and that's where the body modifications came in. Sure, Robo Fizz is a robotic copy of Fizzarolli. It makes sense for him to have robotic parts.
Hey, Implings, it's me, the robotic Fizzarolli!
The real Fizz though? That dude has limbs that extend. This dude is a straight up android. Hell, he doesn't even have horns anymore. What happened there? Clearly he wouldn't do any of this for no reason. No, rather than for personal reasons, I'm convinced this is something he would have been forced to do. Fizz didn't just sell out, he sold his body. It definitely worked out for him though. Not only has Fizz become a huge celebrity, he's netted himself a business relationship with Asmodeus, the embodiment of lust. Maybe even more than a business relationship. Let's talk. Despite preaching about how sickeningly sweet Moxxie's serenade for Millie was, Fizz and Ozzie kind of have a sickeningly sweet relationship themselves. There are quite a few times where they're pretty lovey-dovey with each other, and I don't think it's just me with my shipper's lens. I mean, seriously, look how upset Ozzie is when his precious Fizz is hurt. It's adorable. Question is, when and how did it start? Obviously, Ozzie's is one of Hell's biggest venues, so of course Mammon's biggest talent would have performed there, and naturally, this would have been how Ozzie first met Fizz. I'm betting Asmodeus found his performance thrilling, most likely sexually thrilling, and for him it was probably love at first sight.
Now that's the spirit of love.
As for why Fizz ended up reciprocating his feelings though, here's my theory. As I said earlier, Fizz bears heavy resemblance to Mammon, and there's a very good chance it's because Mammon is behind giving him extensive surgery. Being the embodiment of greed, I can't imagine he treated Fizz as anything more than a tool to make money. In other words, Fizz may have been successful, but he was most likely absolutely miserable and even alone. He had lost his best and perhaps only friend, Blitz, and what's success without friends to share it with? So when Fizz partnered with Ozzie, presumably after Ozzie bought Fizz, seeing as the embodiment of greed would hardly let his biggest moneymaker go without a fight, he was in fact both rescuing Fizz from a very toxic person and a truly shitty life. That could very well be why he loves Asmodeus so much, and why he's so sickeningly happy in his presence.
Ain't that just such a happy display? It sickens me.
Get the fuck out.
Like this video to support the channel, subscribe for more Helluva Boss reviews and theories, and comment with your thoughts down below. Remember to check out my socials in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.